Hello everyone and welcome to the program Talk Sport on Global Television. I am Samuel Odi. We sincerely apologize for coming behind the schedule. We really apologize for that. But still, we brought you exciting news, a whole lot of excitement going on currently as we speak in Nigeria, because the Super Falcons yesterday defeated the South Africans, Banyana of South Africa, 2-1 to qualify for the final stages of the ongoing 2024 AFCON that is ongoing in Morocco as we speak. So we'll be expecting to see the clash between Morocco and Ghana on who the Super Falcons will be facing on the final day of this prestigious competition. So Mission X is still very much alive. We'll be bringing you an update on major stories and highlights of the game that was played between the Super Falcons and the South Africans. Talking about World Cup qualifiers now, let's move straight away and talk cricket real quick, as World Cup qualifiers are here. Oyede trims female yellow and green squad ahead of the qualifiers. Head coach of the Nigerian senior women's cricket team, Leke Oyede, has dropped 4 players from the initial 22 players roster for the 2026 ICC Women's T20 World Cup in World Cup African qualifiers in Namibia after a 14-day open camp in Benin City, Edo State. The dropped players are women's under-19 wickets keeper at the World Cup in Malaysia earlier this year, Deborah Bassi, Habibat Oremi, Ayomide Abdul Sadiq and Rashidat Abdul Sadiq Sahad. These 4 individuals have been dropped from the squad. Following the decision, 18 players will resume closed camping in Lagos starting this Saturday, July the 26th, before the final 15 players roster is going to be released. Nigeria will battle Zimbabwe, Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, Namibia, and 2 other teams from Division 2 at the qualifiers, which will be held from August the 28th to September the 7th, 2025. So we're getting the teams ready, and this was the first team that represented Nigeria, first ever team to represent from Nigeria, to represent Nigeria in cricket and also in the All-African game in 2024, and they came back clinching gold medals and bronze medal. The trajectory of them winning and also representing and coming back home with medals has been on. We've seen the under 18 and under 19 ladies also, performing excellently well away from the continent of Africa, putting Nigerians flag on the map and then letting the whole world know that Nigeria is building a very formidable force around the world of cricket. So we'll see how all of this pans out, and then we are getting and hoping that these individuals will make it through to the World Cup that will be coming up in 2026. Moving on, AFN that's talking about the Athletic Federation of Nigeria rules out World Championships trial in Abeokuta. Uncertainty now clouds the 2025 National Athletic Trials as the Athletic Federation of Nigeria remains unable to confirm if the event will still take place as earlier scheduled in Abeokuta, Ogun State from July the 31st to the 2nd of August. The trials is a compulsory selection meet for Nigerian senior athletes team ahead of the 2025 World Athletic Championship in Tokyo, rebuilt to hold at the MKO Abiola Stadium in Abeokuta. However, unresolved issues surrounding the certification of the stadium's tartan track by World Athletic have thrown the event into a disarray. The AFN, that's talking about the Athletic Federation of Nigerian President Tokubo Okowa, told our correspondents that no official decision has been made regarding the venue, citing the pending approval of the facility as key factors in the delay. So this now is putting a whole lot of things on hold. Basically, it's not going to be taken away from Nigerians that a whole lot of Nigerian athletes, top-class athletes, world-class athletes have qualified for this championship, talking about Favour Ofile, talking about Tobi Amonsun, and the list goes on and on. So we will see what would happen. But now, these individuals have qualified based on other meets that they have run in. I was talking about the ones that happened in Jamaica, the one that happens in the Philippines, the one that happened in China, and also the one that happened in the United States of America. These individuals have set records and broken records in line with them qualifying for this championship. So we'll see how all of these will pan out as they are getting themselves equipped and ready. But still, we'll see our way to see what the World World Athletic Federation would have to see in line with these startups and this delay that we are seeing, if it's going to still happen come next week, Thursday, which is the 31st of July. So we'll see how all of this pan out. So moving on, let's talk basketball real quick. As yesterday, the I used to Super Falcons, but let's talk about the Tigers right now. As we're talking basketball, the 6-time Afro basketball champions, that I was talking about, the Tigers, yesterday went to visit the sports commissioner, and in line with the Afro basketball championship that will be kickstarting this weekend, starting on the 26th in Ivory Coast, they have been in Abuja and they have been practicing and getting themselves ready in a closed door training facility in here in Abuja. So we are seeing how interesting it's getting. Yesterday they met with the sports commissioner, who encouraged them and told them to get themselves fully equipped as they get themselves ready for this prestigious championship, and they are looking to win the 7th in to defend the 6th that they won and then win it again and become the 7th. So I had the opportunity to watch them train again yesterday in the closed door facility, and I'm going to bring you highlights of those trainings, as these ladies couldn't even miss from range and they drew up a whole lot of play. Wakama, the head coach of the Tigers, made mention of the fact that she had other options to coach other countries, but she decided to come back home to coach. She is currently coaching Chicago Skies now in United States of America, which the team that plays in the WNBA. So we'll see how all of this pan out. Her expertise and the fact of the qualities that we have, starting from Okoronkwo and the rest of them, are actually showing that yes, this team has what it takes to defend the championship and also win and have the 7th title. So here are the highlights from the training that these ladies had yesterday, as they are set to jet off out of Nigeria to Ivory Coast later today. Here are the highlights. You all can see how ready these ladies are. They couldn't even miss from distance, from the mid-range, from the free throw line. It shows how prepared these individuals are to go represent Nigeria, make Nigeria proud. And again, talking about making Nigeria proud, we saw how amazing the Super Falcons were yesterday as they defeated South Africa 2-1 in the semi-final clash yesterday in Morocco. I think Nigerians now have gotten their revenge based on the fact that earlier before now, the South Africans made sure that the Super Falcons did not qualify to the semi-finals, not alone get into the finals. I was talking about the last encounter that they had. So now looking at the stands now, I think it's even. So we got knocked out. The Super Falcons got knocked out by now South Africa, and this time around Women's African Cup of All Nations, marking the end of an extraordinary era in African women's football. Looking at it, the 30-year-old made the announcement on her official page, describing the decision as a legendary exit and necessary step to pave the way for emerging talents to shine on the global stage. She says, at 30 with 6 African Women's Best Player Award, I will bow out to start a new chapter after WAFCON 2025, she wrote. Thank you for the unwavering support and I'm forever grateful. She says Nigeria also is grateful. You've made Nigeria proud and still making Nigeria proud. We saw the action yesterday and we saw how amazing she was for Nigeria as they get themselves, as they were battling it out with South Africa to know who would be at the final. So now Mission X is very much available and is still on track, like I rightly mentioned earlier. But now I want to bring you